Hey guys, and welcome back to some more Factorio sending supporters to space. And we are here going to complete the last two builds that we have to do for this map. So I've finished up red and green science from last episode, got them all figured out. There were a few tweaks and stuff that had to be done, nothing interesting enough to put on episode. And then I did blue science just now, and the reason I didn't do that on episode was because it was really tricky and would have just been me fumbling around, to be honest. Like more than normal. It took like 3 or 4 iterations to get it right, and honestly it probably would have just been frustrating for you. But it's very similar to these. Here it is. It was weird, right? Because in order to have an odd number in each row, which we needed 55 per side. This is by far the biggest science build. 110 assemblers total. 55 per side. There was not like the middle was one assembler, right? It was this one I'm mousing over here, and having it stick up forward like these other ones didn't really work for our chests and stuff. So I had to like rearrange it and then mess with stuff in the middle. It was kind of a pain, and I knew it would take quite a while, probably an entire episode itself. It did take me about 25 minutes because I was just messing with it a lot. But these are really simple. So I've already mapped it out. We need 64 assemblers total for production and high tech, so 32 per side. And again, you arrive at this very simply. Now, this is not, of course, going to save my stuff, but kill that. So same calculation, except the reason why these assembler counts are lower than like blue science, even though they take longer, is because if you notice there, they output 2. So we take the amount that it gives us per craft, which in this case is 2. We divide that by the time it takes to craft, which is 14 seconds. And then we multiply that by the assembler speed and then times the productivity amount, which gave us like 1 point something. Let me just do it really quick here again, because this is a per second rate. So 2 divided by 14 times 5.5 times 1.4 gives us 1.1. All right, so 1.1. And then for a minute rate, we do 1.1 times 66, not 66, 60, which gives us 66 for a minute rate, exactly 66. And then we just take 4,200, which is how much we need per minute, multiply that, or divide that, sorry, by 66. That's how many packs we get per minute. And that should equal about 64. 4,200 divided by 66 is 63.6. Okay, so I'm rounding up, obviously. So that's how I arrive at that number, and it's even, which makes it good. Clear that note, we don't need it. So it's going to be very similar to the other builds. I would have just done it off camera because it is like literally just identical to the other builds. However, I figured science is probably something I should have on episode. And I didn't want to make people mad by me just skipping it entirely, because that would be kind of like what we did on Mad Science. So anyway, same deal here. 32 per side. I think we can get away with 2 rows. I was thinking like 18 in the first row and then maybe 14 in the back row. So if we go like this, we need to go down to 5 because we had 23 in our hand. That should be 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, so there's 18. And then 14 in the back row, which means 2 off each end. So I'm going to do this just for a measurement. I think. Yeah. So then there we go. So those line up. So then go all the way down until we have 2 left there. And that's what it would look like. So overall, pretty small build, honestly. Tear these up, and then we'll set these. So this is going to be production. These are very simple. Just electric engines, mining drills, and furnaces. Or not mining drills, sorry. Simpler ones. Blue sciences, mining drills. So very simple here. Pretty much standard deal. Now, I laid these out like this. It's actually easier for me to lay them out in a straight line and then kind of, push some forward like we have been with the builds than to start it that way to begin with. It's just the way my mind works. And cough, maybe I forgot to do that again. but it is actually still easier for me. So this guy goes like that. And then this guy would be here. That should be full coverage. So there we go. Okay, so these should be two in the middle two pushed up, kind of like we have for, well, the red build or the speed build over here, where, or sorry, no. Two are pushed back. The middle is actually between the two. So let's run down to our red build here really quick. So yeah, so the middle is in between these two. So if we find the middle, which should every damn time this autosave, man. All right, let's see. It should be, my eyeball says here-ish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Okay, so this is the middle here. So now from these two, we want to push these out like that, and then again like so. And that should work pretty well. Because now these can share chests in the middle and stuff and kind of have a center point. And then these would just share here, I think. I'm really bad at like keeping these build designs memorized in my head, which is why I have to keep coming down here and looking, because I'm really bad at just like remembering that stuff. How did these end? Those ended with 2. Okay, so this is actually a little bit weird. It would be tempting to just add another one on here. Otherwise, it's going to be kind of wonky now that I look at this. Yeah. It's going to be a bit of overproduction. We'll see how the chests work, but I think it's going to end up kind of wonky having this one out here on the end. It should end with 2 like that. Doing that is going to make it a little bit longer than I would have liked, honestly. Because these two go like that, right? Because this is our center point. And let's go ahead and do that and that. These two share. Pretty standard stuff. And then again, the requesters, the ones that share requesters, we want close here like that. Pretty standard. Now, I know I can blueprint this. I'm kind of just moving along here because I want to see where this chest is going to end up. And actually, that works out fine. I feel like I'm missing something here. What am I missing here? Alright, so these end like that, and then he just had a single one. Alright, so I guess that does work. And then he just, okay, sure. Alright, that works great. So grab, output, output, output. Like so. Now this could be a requester, and this could be an output, and then these two could output, but then his requester would be out there. It's kind of weird. Like some of like it's farther away in some cases, some of these, but it's like closer in others. Again, like I said many times, this stuff is really hard to like quantify in terms of like, yes, this is definitely better. Some stuff we know for sure is better. Hopewell actually did a very interesting test in terms of like bot travel, like in terms of what the bots actually prefer. What he did is he stuck, I'm not really explaining the build because we've done this like a bajillion times. I'm actually somehow managing to talk and build at the same time. I must be actually somewhat alert. What he did is he like put, I think it just like one item, like one car or something I think he used, in a whole section of passive providers, like just like squares of providers, and then put requesters like in the exact middle, like in between where there would be rails, and like turned it on to see where the bots would take stuff. And it was really interesting. It really did make like kind of a sandwich or hot dog bun shape. Is it the bots only took from chests in like a short, in like a little little arc. It was actually more of a pointed arc, but it was really interesting because it shows why tapering builds is so important, because it showed that the bots do prefer, as I'm sticking these inserters the wrong way, it shows that bots do prefer like just kind of taking and like kind of an arc taper type of thing. I'm just double checking these, making sure I got these right. Okay, I know I didn't set requests or anything yet, so these requests are very simple. I believe we need 3,000 total. I believe these don't take much. I think it's just going to be like a request of like 50-ish. So 1 divided by 14 times 5.5. We don't really need many of these. I'll just do like, I think it's only like 25, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's like 25. I may bump it up a little bit. Well, these double ones need to be double that anyway. So let's do 50 of these, 50 of these, and whatever, what's the other thing this takes? Furnaces. 50 furnaces for these double requests, and then the single ones, I think 25. I'm now realizing, I'm now realizing that I think I set the requests for the other pack things too high, because I think I was being really dumb in factoring in productivity, like for how much they need, which doesn't really make sense. So those are probably too high. That can be modified later if need be. I mean, it's not like the end of the world or anything. So that took care of all the single ones, and then we'll just blueprint this back here. So copy that to these double ones, like so. Already got both those. Boom, boom, and boom. And then we want to cap these. This can be a stack-ish. Yeah, and then these probably want to be 2 stacks. So let's copy that. Trying to get these first ones set here. And then we can blueprint the back row like that. And then 2 stacks for these double output ones. And that should about do it. The tracks are going to be... Tracks are actually always kind of a bit of a pain for me. Alright, and then we'll just throw some power poles in here. There we go. And the high-tech one, actually, the build for this will be identical, aside from different requests and obviously simpler sets, but it's literally the exact same amount of hacks you need. So what's kind of interesting, right, is that these, let me see, I can clear this because I have it in my little blueprint library. I can clear that, I think. Yeah. Yep. It's interesting because these last packs, like the highest level late game packs, for builds like this are actually the simplest, which is kind of interesting, because like what's nice about them is that they both cost, like they both take exactly the same amount of time, and they both output the same amount of things. They both output 2 per cycle. So it's like the builds can literally just be identical to each other aside from what you're requesting in the recipe in the assembler, which just makes it so much easier. There we go. Those are all set, and then these just need to copy down here. Wow, I feel I must be like really alert. I don't think I've built this fast in a long time, and I don't believe I'm messing anything up. I mean, obviously, I know I don't have modules in here. That's, yeah, I know that. I know that it's a thing. I'm gonna do something a little bit silly here. Ew. It's gonna drive me a little bit nuts, some of this stuff. Sure. And then that goes here. That one kind of stuck out and matched up with this dude. That should power all that on, I believe. I think we actually still have a ton of modules in here. Oh, yeah. Sweet. So let's fill these up. And then I'll blueprint and we'll do track. So these, again, same type of track as the red circuits because they require 3 materials in, 1 out. And yeah, like I said, these are the only builds left because I feel a bit ashamed. I'm not going to apologize for it because you guys get on me about apologizing and I don't really feel that bad just because it's super overwhelming as it is. But I do feel a little ashamed, at least, that I am not actually designing the labs and the silo build myself. I'm not going to... I had debated just like putting it down and like lying and being like, well, you know, so we have this lab build, it's done. But no, I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Can is designing the lab build for me and Hopewell is designing the rocket thing for me. And that's because it's so overwhelming, guys. It's just, I've been doing this where actually we are, I think, at about 250 hours on this. And I'm like rearing to go. And the lab build and rocket silo build require a ton of like trial and error. Like poor Can, he's been messing with the thing for like 2 days in terms of, because we had some issues with getting packs in and out, like, or not like the trains in and out evenly and not having jams. It took so much time, and if it were me doing that, it would probably take even more time, just because I'm a bit slower with that type of stuff. So I do want to just, that's why I say these are the last builds, because these are the last builds I'm doing. I built most of the stuff in here. I mean, the smelters and stuff were the group effort. Some of the circuit stuff they helped a lot on. But, like, the point is, those two I'm going to import. I hope you guys don't mind. I know it was, I mean, it's still technically single player. I'm trying to line this damn thing up. I think we'll have to place the tracks and line up the doohickey afterwards. And move some tracks around. But yeah, so I did want to just let you know that, give you a heads up. You know, it's not like completely like they're just like giving me a build just like just out of nowhere. I mean, we've been discussing it, you know, and I give my input, you know, like, do we want it this way or this way? We have this issue, any ideas to fix it? So it's still like a group effort, but it's saving me so many hours and headaches that I honestly can't really afford to have right now. So there's that. I do hope that you're not too upset that those two are not being designed by myself. But probably will show importing them at least. Okay, so that's that. Let's go ahead and blueprint. Did I already blueprint this? No. Let's blueprint this. Stick it there. Tear it up. Suppose I should have placed the track first, but hey, again, it's another weird thing how my brain works. So the middle should be these two pack things ish. Looks like pretty close to the middle, right? I don't think it actually, yeah, it's not going to be right on, unfortunately. Actually, that's right on, pretty much. Now, I don't know that we need this many roboports. I kind of think we don't. We could take at least one off of each end, I believe. Because, again, these output 2, and they only require one thing, like one type, or one of each ingredient, rather, per craft. So it's not, like, super high throughput. It's not like red circuits, again. So there's that guy. And then these are all going to be far lower. So going to require a bit of revamping here. These can actually all come down because I've done the math already for like the other builds, and these are pretty much the same. We only need one inserter unloading per wagon, and as I just completely screwed that up, that's great. Wonderful. And actually that will not work because I've switched the station. So I need to put these down to actually know where these line up. These three work. These ones do not. So this one, actually, Yeah, no, whatever. I mean, he could go in... Yeah, actually, he should. Okay. It's kind of funny because each one of these builds is a little bit different. Like the blue one, I am now realizing that I could have optimized it some more in terms of... Oh. Oh. Really don't want to mess with power poles right now. Screw it. I'm now realizing I could have optimized it a lot more. But we can mess with it later. Like, it's really not that difficult to just change a few chests around even once it's built. At least if I do it before they totally fill up. So, yeah, these only need one inserter outputting. And yes, it does make a difference because inserters are actually really pretty darn high up there on the, like, game performance usage area. They're like kind of right behind robots and stuff. Alright. So let's do that. Now this is going to be our load and we want these guys like in the middle-ish. So 1, 2, 3, just go like that. Alright, so these, I'm doing 2 loads just because I suppose. And then these ones, I believe, I'm not actually entirely sure, so I really wish this would show like past the first 5. That'd be kind of nice. I could actually push these in. These ones I can't. I suppose, I mean, I'm going to kind of be redoing the power poles anyway, and I was just lining them up with the power poles. So this one we're just going to completely revamp the power poles. Might help if I actually put them in the right spot. Alright, so those 2 like that. Again, we're trying to bring closest to the center as possible here. And there we go. So 3, that's 6. That unloads that way. Then these guys could actually very conveniently match up not here. Great, screw you. What a pain. I don't want those to match up, man. Could scooch him over. Screw it. The requesters are actually going to be a higher amount, like higher throughput than the providers for this particular thing. So I actually do want those prioritized close to the middle. It looks a little weird once you like zoom out and there's all kind of power poles and stuff. You're really not going to notice. These could go to like a stack-ish, I think, is what we had for this stuff. Alright, there we go. So that takes care of that. And then these ones, we could get rid of pretty much everything except that inner one right there. And then we could just get rid of all this. And then the other one will line up. Like that, I think. Is that how it was? I don't remember. Let's just line it up with these, I guess. Yeah, it's not going to be right in the middle, but at least it lines up with those ones, right? Well, actually, kind of like it to line up with those. You know, the 2 outside tracks line up. There we go. And then we'll copy the lock on here. And there's that. So we reduced the inserters actually by quite a large amount on here, which is definitely a good thing. We already have a ton of inserters on this map. Well, not there. Of course, there's like no power there. We already have 24,000 inserters on this map. That's ridiculous. Yeah. Okay, so that's that. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Well, I need requests. Let's, I've just kind of been doing like 1,000 for these. Again, I mean, as we go, I'm going to be honest, I'm getting a little lazy with some stuff. I'm not necessarily matching all the builds. Like I said, the blue science build, I'm now realizing there's some better things I could have done with the chest. I may do that later. I may leave it. You know, I'm still like trying my best to do like optimized stuff and such, but I really kind of want to just turn things on, to be honest. So... Okay, so... Wait. If... Ugh. Yeah, I don't really care at this point. Just power pull the hell out of everything. Oh, that's already powered. Oh. Well then. Sure. we'll just excessively power pull. Actually kind of needed that. Make sure I actually power pulled all the roboports. That is important. Looks like I did. There we go. So that's ready. And then this guy, the purple one, goes up top here. Screw you. Just like so. And I'm actually going to turn off my bots. Again, man, with this auto every time today. Wait, was there something red there? Okay. I don't need to actually place it. I'm just putting it there to blueprint this thing. And there you go. So purple build, much smaller than the blue build. Let's clear him out. Blueprint this. Get rid of these silly icons and replace it with something that's actually going to tell me what the hell it is. Let's call it by its proper name, production science. Boom, drop it in our game blueprints here for safekeeping. And there we go. And then high tech, how much time we got? We're at 26 minutes. I'm not going to be able to do high tech. It is, like I said, it is literally going to be this build, like verbatim, except... yeah, except that it is very heavy on... Let me try to pull up my little sheet here. It is very heavy on copper. So... it doesn't actually tell me. It tells me a copper cable. That's not particularly helpful. We actually don't have... Oh, it's not going to be the same. Oh, dear. Okay. Yeah, maybe what I might do is I'm going to do it off camera, and I think I'll show you the final build. I was wrong. It's not going to be the same. I'll show you the final build when next episode. Because what it's actually going to be is... I forgot stupid copper wire. What it's going to have to be is it's going to have to be like the red build, where the copper wire is directly inserted. So it's actually going to be pretty much the red build, but with high-tech packs where the red assemblers are and probably not quite as big. Yeah, because we do not want to be flying copper cable everywhere. We want to fly the copper plate there since, you know, you get way more copper cable out than you put plate in, so you don't want the bots flying that around. So that's what this is going to be. It's going to be like this, except the red chip things will be high-tech assemblers. I'll do the build and I'll show you it actually placed next episode, but it will be done, and then we're pretty much ready, guys. Then it's just slapping down those builds, the low densities, raw control units, and we're pretty much ready to go. One last recap. Did hook this in. This is the stone furnace thing, the stone brick furnace for our electric furnace build, which is here. He's all connected in up top. These junctions are all spaced perfectly, which looks absolutely amazing, I think. They almost look kind of like cathedral, like window. Like, that's gonna sound really weird, but they look kind of like cathedral, like windows, like the stained glass kind of things. But yeah, so these two are ready, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting how I do the copper cable. Not even sure if it's a good enough ratio to do that kind of direct insertion. I'll have to figure that out. Anyway, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and we are so close. This week, we are turning it on, all right? That is my goal. By the end of this weekend, this base is going to be on and going. Like we are actually that close. So get ready, because I'm so excited. I hope you guys are excited. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. As always, if you did enjoy, feel free to leave a like. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you all, and do take care.